My name is Zach Bruner. With me, as always, is Luke Reimer, Trevor Land, Janet Wilson, and we're fresh off a bye week. We're feeling good. Everything is shaping up to be fine, I'm sure. We said last week, what's the one team you don't want to play? And here it is, matchup against the 49ers in the divisional round. We're ready to go. We're not paranoid at all. 6-point favorites. We're the biggest favorites of the weekend. What could go wrong?
Damn straight.
As we should be. Janet, we just got done with the show talking about every playoff matchup, so some of this stuff will be rehashed with us, stuff we've already said. But what's your overall thoughts heading into Saturday?
Okay, first of all, let me just get my dogs to shut up. Shh, Baloo. Okay, so I feel like the 49ers kind of, I know a lot of people are like, really? They flew under your radar? But they flew under my radar, okay? I'm a teacher. Sometimes it's hard for me to keep up with all 32 teams. They were injured. They had a lot of COVID outs, So I now realizing that they're coming in pretty strong with all their players intact. I might be panicking just a tad bit. I mean, kind of, yeah. I'm a little bit panicky.
Well, they shouldn't have flown under your radar because after we played them in week 3, I listened back to our show and we said, this 49ers team's no good. However, it feels like a team that's going to start to click and then they're going to be scary at the end of the season. And then all of a sudden things clicked and now we're all freaking out. Is Luke frozen on that face?
Frozen. Okay.
Oh. I'm sorry.
I thought he was frozen.
Speaking of freaking out, Trevor, I know you'll appreciate this. I have the Bucs team on in the background, and Pat Connaughton just blocked a John Morant dunk.
Who cares? This is a Packer podcast. It's a regular season game. Nobody cares. Luke, can you name the coach of the Memphis Grizzlies? No, you cannot.
Yeah, JB
I know it.
Staff.
Really?
No.
What is it?
Oh,
Taylor Jenkins.
Oh yeah, Taylor Jenkins.
He does. That's terrifying. Yep. Also, a little behind the glass. I saw you talk like you're a Bucks fan in that chat, Zach. Don't try to do that. But anyways,
what's
Janet
that?
said the Skype one. Janet said she feels a little nervous about the game, and you don't know why. You should be terrified because this is the Green Bay Packers we are talking about. The Green Bay Packers, I love them to death, but these dudes, like, we kind of talked about them. This 49ers team is better. This Packer team, dare I say, is a little worse. And we are 0-3 against the 49ers in the playoffs, and they have kind of the same formula, just with the worst defense. We're at home. We have fans. It's great, but I've seen this too many times, so I'm freaking out. I know the two to my left aren't, or right, depending on where you're watching, but I'm definitely freaking out. I'm barely even keeping it together.
I haven't slept for the past 3 days. I basically lay in the dark, so maybe I am freaking out.
It does sound like it.
It seems like a different issue entirely, but
could be related. Who knows?
Because she was waiting for Pat Connaughton to block John Morant's dunk, but
it's pretty cool.
Screw Pat Connaughton. He's not going to live that down until 2025. He's going to continue to bring this up. That dude's a scrub.
Hey,
He's
guys,
the worst.
What do they call him? This gentrification sensation? You watch your mouth when you're talking about him.
Right.
But I have tomorrow off, with that snowstorm coming in, they canceled all classes.
How much snow is it? Is it a storm or what is it?
It's a light dusting.
Or is it a flurry?
I see what you did there.
It's sleet. It's sleet.
A lot of snow.
Sleet. Yeah.
It's going to melt. It's half melted.
And it's only going to go down to 37 degrees.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Put on a fucking jacket. Crazy.
We haven't had 37 degrees here since August.
No.
Yeah, I just wanted you guys to see how funny it is to live in Texas when it's cold. Cold!
Yeah. Well,
it would make sense.
Don't freeze.
It would make sense. It gets cold with all those salty ass, cold-hearted Dallas Cowboy fans down there.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, there's something. So I think the big story heading into this game, and I saved it for this show, we didn't talk about it last time. Which head coach do you think is the most petty? Because listening back to the show in week 4 after the game, I completely forgot about the icy handshake. There was a rift between the Shanahan and LaFleur friendship going into that game, and it played out. They're not friends anymore. So who has the most to gain? I said during the show, I think Janet's an expert at icy handshakes. I think she could probably give us the best insight. And I think the same is true now. So who do you think has more to prove, Janet, in this game as a result of said cold handshake?
Okay, but first of all, LaFleur said on his presser today that him and what's his face are still friends. They're still friends. They're still good friends. That they have. Yeah, he said that it was all good. Like it was
and
no
I'm
big
dating
deal.
Rihanna. So
congrats, by the way.
But yeah, the body language when they went up to each other was terrible. Either maybe they were upset at the moment, and then later on were like, I don't know. If you have that, I don't know if you guys have that friend. I have that friend where, or maybe your sibling. It happens a lot with my siblings too, where we get in a fight, but we don't apologize, and then we just start talking regular. Do you think maybe that happened between them? Like they kind of were like salty, and then they were like, okay, cool, we're over it. As he said, they were still good friends.
I don't. I think what he did was he was asked the question first. So now if he says, oh yeah, we're good friends. I love Kyle. He's one of my best friends. We go back so long. Now Kyle Shanahan's going to be asked the question. He's already stewing. He already hates LaFleur. So now he has to up him in the nice game, and it's just going to kill him inside. So I think LaFleur is doing it, playing 5D chess here. Trying to really get Kyle Shanahan off his game, get his mind on other things other than football.
Well,
he won't do it.
It kind of sounded like he was kissing his ass. I mean, I don't know. He said, we're still good friends. I have so much respect for him, everything that he's taught me.
He won't do it, but I hope the Packers win. I hope LaFleur walks right past them and shakes Jimmy G's hands first. That would be the funniest shit ever. That would be amazing. Just be like, hey, I don't appreciate you. Or, well, no, Trey Lance. Never mind. I got it screwed up. But either way, I hope he just walks right by him. Screw him, man.
They should just go full...
He should shake Trey Lance's hand before Jimmy G's, honestly.
The Packers should just go full 1991 Pistons and don't even shake their hand. Just walk off the field.
Well, no, because the Pistons lost. That's why they walked off. So...
How much cooler to be, more badass it would be if they won and walked off.
Yeah, if they won and walked off.
They're like, we don't even want the... Wait, there is no trophy for the NFC Championship.
Just say bye to... Awesome. Just wave at the fans and then just exit the tunnel.
Flip them off like Homer Simpson in the Simpsons movie going down the hole while you're backing into the locker room.
I think, usually the winning coach gets Gatorade dumped on him. But since it's so cold, the Packers should dump Gatorade on Shanahan, regardless.
Not even Gatorade? Like the Chinese version of Gatorade?
No, not even that. With how cold it's going to be, they should just boil water and then dump it on them.
Or they just...
The Bills had soup in their thing last week.
Or just have the
dump
fans...
out the Gatorade. Dump out the Gatorade. Just get the ice on them. Hard ice.
Just have the fans throw cheese curds at him.
Right.
It's something to think about. We've seen lots of things getting thrown. Last weekend, we had Cowboys fans throwing garbage at their players. We had Bills fans throwing dildos on the field. So Packer fans, we should all coordinate, figure out something to throw, and just aim for Shanahan the entire game. Don't even wait until the last quarter. Just start right away, I think.
Most Wisconsin thing would be scratch-off tickets, blow-up cows, and spotted cow.
Spotted cow.
We don't
a waste of spotted cow.
Yeah, we don't waste spotted cow. It'd be spotted cow bottles, and that's dangerous. But I think it's worth it.
That's what you get for not shaking a hand, dick.
The punishment fits the crime.
If I know anything from Racine, throwing batteries at football games is a good thing. So I think let's throw some batteries. That hurts like a motherfucker too. So I think that's what we should probably do.
Yeah.
You know what else hurts?
Inflatable
having to live in Racine. That also hurts.
True.
You know how excited I would be if somebody threw an inflatable cow at me?
Are we trying to excite Kyle Shanahan? What are we trying to do? Okay.
I
mean, we should. Yeah. Go
Before we
for
move
it.
on,
Let's not
I guess we can
talk-
bridge the gap here because I'm going to bring up fans. But just to get into this game a little bit more, this is a Saturday night game. I know I'll be there. I know a bunch of people who are going to be there. Everyone's going to be all hyped up to go to this game. Saturday night, the game's 7:15, which means the parking lot opens 3:15. That means people are going to be tailgating. They're going to be pre-gaming at noon. So people are going to be drunk for this game, especially because they don't have to work the next day. So this is going to be a rowdy crowd. 49ers, in my experience, have traveled all right. So I imagine, those been jawing back and forth. I don't know. This is going to be a playoff energy game. The crowd's going to be into it. And, there's not many better crowds than Green Bay, Wisconsin, right?
So Luke
As
is letting
always.
us know not to reach him for the next 3 days because he's going to be drunk.
I got to prepare myself.
As always, I will not be there. Janet will not be there. Zach will not be there. So if you see Luke in a fight, help, because I cannot help him this time.
I wouldn't even be able to help if I was there. So I just.
So if you see a guy fighting, help. PSA.
Yeah. Also, Matt
Sure.
LaFleur said if you're going to sell your tickets, sell them to other Packer fans.
Yeah. No shit. Don't be dumb. Like, what are we doing? Not like the Bills fans who couldn't get across the border, so they sold it to a bunch of Patriots fans. It's so stupid. Okay. Yeah, to your point, last year, man, like, obviously, I'm not sure what the capacity was for that playoff game you went to.
Nobody
It was like
last year. Or it was
couple
like
thou-
500 people to 1,000, something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's not the same, obviously. So, I mean, playoffs in Lambeau Field, it's going to be a true advantage. I think the temperature is supposed to be close to 0, right?
It's supposed to be 20 and then
3.
wind chill down to 3, 2, somewhere in there, 0.
I saw 3.
I guess it's supposed to be 20 during the day, and then I obviously get much colder at night. But
like we talked about it last show. Obviously, Lambeau weather is always a factor this time of year. Usually, cold leads to better for the running game. We look at the two teams. Packers have struggled to run the football all season long. 49ers have found something running the football with Elijah Mitchell, Deebo Samuel, obviously. Watching that first game back, I think Kyle Juszczyk needs to be somebody we need to fucking contain this week as well. He was a monster catching footballs out of the backfield. Obviously, Deebo's going to catch footballs out of the backfield. That wasn't a part of the 49ers game at that point in the season. But talking about weather, I think there's a little wind. It says here, I'm not sure how accurate this is. It says 12 at the time of kickoff. So to your point, 0-ish wind chill. I'm not really worried about the Packers in terms of weather, and if it turns on to be a big-on-big game because of the cold and everyone gets like a slight step slower as a result of the cold, I personally think that favors the Packers. Obviously, A.J. Dillon, but I think it favors the Packers' offensive line versus their defensive line. I'm not afraid of Fred Warner. If it gets big on big, I think that kind of takes him out of the game. It takes the pass rush and Nick Bosa out of the game. And, Deebo Samuel and Elijah Mitchell are quick backs, and if they get a little bit slower, then they turn into, this is exaggerating a little bit, but they turn into Cordell Patterson and Mike Davis, right? No offense to Elijah Mitchell, you're not Mike Davis, but they just don't become that scary. So I think the weather does help the Packers here instead of the old adage of it's harder to stop the run in the cold. Like, I get that, but there's differences.
And just to add on to my factors outside of the game here, this is the first full stadium playoff game for the Packers since that Seattle game when Jimmy Graham was still on the team. So that's going to make it that much more, exciting. And if anyone's ever played football at any level, I mean, they can agree with this. If you're getting beat down in shitty weather with the crowd behind the home team, that sucks. So if the Packers can get up early, this may be a very long day for the 49ers.
Out of all the indicators you could have used for the Packers-Seahawks game, you picked when Jimmy Graham was.
Yeah, I like Jimmy Graham.
Making me twitch. What?
I like Jimmy Graham.
Is this game going to be on the Nickelodeon cast?
Oh,
I want
dude,
to
can you
see
imagine if
Mason
Aaron Rodgers
Crosby
gets
stick it through
fined?
SpongeBob's face.
I want it.
Sick.
The best last year when they did the Nickelodeon game or whenever it was, I think it was the Bears game, and Cordell Patterson was on, and it was a hot mic, and you could hear "What the fuck," and it was on Nickelodeon.
Kittle did it too this
And
year.
Kittle, you're right, yeah.
So good. Prestigious company for the MVP too. You got Mitch Trubisky, you got Dak Prescott. I can't imagine that once we get 4 in there, that Mount Rushmore of MVPs is going to be off the charts. It's going to be insane.
I don't know, but Jimmy Garoppolo feels like he should be a part of that company.
He does have MVP upside for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about the weather as well, obviously, sprained shoulder, forearm throwing shoulder. It's I don't know how much truth there is to that, but he still has a torn UCL, partially torn UCL in his thumb. And if it's cold, you better keep that fucking warm because that's going to be a nightmare. So I think the weather in that situation also favors the Packers, whereas Packers are kind of healthy. It feels
Weird to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to say that too loud, but we're kind of healthy.
Yeah. Throw some salt.
By the way, I need to take a shot at Bills fans. Someone said the Packers are the healthiest team going into the playoffs, and Bills Mafia is the fucking worst. They're like, no, we're actually pretty healthy. Like, they need to butt themselves in every conversation. You guys fucking suck. Like, just go away. We don't
Imagine
like
jumping through tables. Like, oh, look at me. I cover myself in ketchup. Fucking bum.
Although Jed and I both made an agreement
Yeah.
we're going to jump through a table together.
Yeah.
I feel like
'Cause
Jimmy
I-
bounce off the table.
So,
That's
so then
why.
Zach and I.
That's why me and Luke are gonna hug and then go down together because I need some
Smart.
sort of weight.
Okay, so then
Right.
Zach and I will take the bets on whether Luke breaks his back or his knee goes through Janet's stomach and, like, you know, somebody's
Luke
getting
will
hurt,
roll so
so.
Janet hits first.
Right.
And Luke's like, yeah, and he sticks up and his wrist is like going the other way. We're like, Luke,
Yeah.
dude,
He's gonna use me as leverage, like just
Mhm.
use me.
it's gonna
He'll
be
go
a
to grab his
suplex.
beard, he'll drop it because his hand's the other direction.
It's not a team thing. It's just a straight Randy Orton RKO or something.
That's right. That is correct. But yeah, I don't know. Weather is going to be a factor. That's good. First game, if we remember, that was the 30-28 Sunday Night Football game. The 49ers gave Aaron Rodgers 37 seconds to come back, and that's the story of the game. And that's good. That was a good win. People forget Packers were up 17-0, gave up a big kick return, let Trey Lance run in a touchdown as time expired in the first half. And then the Packers really didn't show up defensively in the second half. Aaron Rodgers, the entire game, I mean, he kind of just did whatever the hell he wanted to. Offensive line really sucked, but he evaded Nick Bosa the entire time. 49ers played a lot of man coverage for some unknown reason. I'm not sure why that's smart. They showed everything to Aaron Rodgers pre-snap. They didn't stem. They didn't really throw any mixed coverages. They just showed Aaron Rodgers their cards and said, hey, do you think you can beat us? And Rodgers said, yes, I think I can. And that's why Davante Adams did whatever he wanted. That was the game where we see that red zone play where Davante goes in motion to the right, cuts back to the left, wide open, beating that double team. Like, the 49ers defense they're not that good against the pass. And if the defensive coordinator wants to show us his cards the entire game, I think Aaron Rodgers is going to beat him.
And just to add on to that, I am salivating when Josh Norman lines up over Davante Adams.
Ooh.
Yeah, man. I don't know. That'd be... Yeah, it's going to happen. Like, yeah, they don't really have cornerbacks. So, yeah, it's going to happen. And both safeties might be on that side as well at that point because, yeah, Davante will torch him. If it gets to that, obviously. You have to stop the run first. 49ers are a run-first team. They're going to use a lot of motion. They're going to use a lot of running backs. Last time we played, George Kittle ran the ball. He had a nice run. We could see that happening. Kyle Juszczyk was a monster out of the backfield catching the ball last time. Expect to see that. Deebo Samuel and Elijah Mitchell, like I said, have been awesome running the football for them. It's going to be a run-heavy attack. They're going to use a lot of motion, and the Packers will need to stop that. And last time we played, they did. because of Kenny Clark and pretty much Kenny Clark alone. So, like, if one player needs to step up on defense, it has to be him. Like, if he can blow up that middle and force them to the outside, speed shouldn't be an issue. So we should be able to get them down. Obviously, missed tackles are always an issue for us. But gang tackling, I think that's the way to slow down the 49ers. Obviously, forcing Jimmy Garoppolo to pass on 3rd and long. What are your guys' thoughts on stopping the 49ers? What do you think the Packers need to do in this game?
It makes sense to me. Like you said, you have to come out early. Kenny Clark, you just need bodies in the middle. This may be a rotate game where you keep everyone, fresh the whole game. I know it's tough to take, I guess your superstars and your best players out in playoff games. Sometimes it's needed. To me, this feels like a game where the Packers should, to stop the run, I guess right away, they should, if they win the kickoff or if they win the coin toss, take the ball and score right away so that San Francisco has to play at your pace rather than you playing it, deferring to the second half and San Francisco just coming out and running the whole first drive. I think if San Francisco started off with an 8-minute or longer drive, that'd be absolute horrible for the Packers moving forward.
Yeah.
For me, I think it's the linebackers, and I know they aren't, but I hope they're watching this, and I hope they look right into my eyes when I say that. Step the fuck up. Like Zadarius Smith, Preston Smith, the last 2 NFC Championship games, they've combined for what, 2 pressures? Kenny Clark is going to do his thing. Somebody else has got to step up. And historically, the past 2 years, nobody has. If you want to win in the playoffs, somebody's got to do their job other than Kenny Clark. And I love Douglas. I love the corners, right? Minus Kevin King, obviously. They can't do it alone. Like, we need a rush. It has to come from some of those linebackers. If they don't make a play, I mean, what the hell are we paying them for? We're paying them all this money and they can't make a play in the biggest game when we need them. They need to step up because they haven't so far in those big games.
Yeah. Isaiah McDuffie, step the fuck up. This is your game. It's your show. This is your time. Why not
Kinda
you?
weird.
Why not now?
I feel like I'm speaking into a mirror. Like I'm looking at myself. Like, play better, Isaiah. Because we're so alike.
I get it. Janet, what's your thoughts?
I agree with Luke. Just to keep those players fresh, especially because a lot of the players that are coming in, a lot of those starters, they haven't played a game in a long time since they're coming off of injuries and stuff. I know Matt LaFleur talked about how he's not going to be playing them the entire game. He's going to be bringing them in and out just because, kind of like a rubber band. You don't just pull it when it's cold. It'll snap. So I also think that our defense needs to step up, especially with Jimmy G, because I don't think he's a good quarterback. And he's also injured. So they're just going to want to keep him contained and not let him make any, good passes, anything like that. And also hit him hard enough where, like, the cold will affect him. So I think that also stop the run, please. I know that they were able to contain Debo the last time, so I'm hoping they can do that again.
To your point with the injuries, like with the whole rubber band, like you don't want to pull a cold rubber band. That's why, like, it makes me nervous when he says, "Oh, we're gonna have him on a rotation."
Yeah.
Like for Jair Alexander, he needs to stay in the fucking game. He needs to keep that shoulder warm. He can't go to the sideline and let it get cold. Yeah, like that's the worst thing to do. That would be terrible. Zadarius is different with the back thing. By the way, Zadarius Smith, if you're watching, you should take the game off because I think you're going to hurt the team. He is horrendous against the run, and I don't think he's going to pass rush the 49ers and sack Jimmy G. Like, I think the 49ers are going to be run heavy, and if that's the situation, I want a run stopper in there, not you. So I would assume the Packers think the same thing, and I think he's going to be a third down specialist, passing situation specialist, which is what he is, an overpaid one at that. But if he's reserved to that role, like, he's going to make a play at some point. But, man, he can't be an every down player because that's going to hurt. Rashawn Gary's better against the run, not saying much, but he's for sure better against the run. Packers cut Kingsley Keke today. We talked about in the chat. Luke, you brought up probably making room for Zadarius Smith. I would assume that's the situation. And in typical Packers fashion, let's take off somebody who is a special team starter, and let's bring in Zadarius Smith, who's for sure not going to play special teams. And there we go. Now we have a new special team starter this week. Like, it makes no sense, man.
I wonder how much of that is into his personal issues. He's been out the last 2 weeks, I think, with personal issues, personal reasons or whatever, something like that. I wonder if that has to play into it. I love how Janet's smiling when we're talking about somebody's personal issues. So ridiculous.
No, it's because Luke froze it. I thought he was chugging a whole gallon of water.
He might be. Those are his personal reasons. But yeah, I mean,
somebody's thirsty.
It's a thirst trap Thursday. So he's getting ready. Yeah. But yeah, it's a weird one. It feels like there are a lot of other guys that you could have taken off the team, especially because we kind of need big bodies. But whatever.
Or special teams chemistry. Because it's not like special teams chemistry has cost the Packers every time we lose. But, who knows?
They just got all the chemistry. You can't ever have perfect chemistry. It's, once you get to the top, you got to knock yourself down a peg, work it back. Mm-hmm. Good leadership and teamwork.
That's a good point. It'll be interesting to see who else is kind of demoted if we really do bring back, multiple people. Like we talk Randall Cobb, Josh Myers, Bakhtiari were already back, but Jair, there's going to be people demoted that you're like, why the hell were they demoted? I can only hope that Adam is one of the players demoted. I know he's a special team starter, but he's not. We can put anybody. LaFleur can run down and it'll be better. But like I would assume without Cobb, Juwan Winfrey probably won't be active, and he's been special teams, but he's not really a special team starter as well, so that's fine. Was Amari Rodgers active for the Detroit game? He was, right?
Yeah, because Love threw a pick and bounced off his hands.
Yeah.
I got a question.
Laugh, Zach.
Would you rather have Amari Rodgers play every passing play, or Zadarius Smith play every running play?
Amari Rodgers every passing play, because you don't have to pass it to him.
Yeah, that's the cheat answer. That's the correct one. But yeah, he's no good. he's not any good. He can play right guard if it's him or Royce Newman. I'll put him there. That's
right.
Fine. He can cut every play.
No.
That's
Newman Knight Nijman 2024. He can't block, so I might as well try something else.
That's true. That'll be, I would assume Packers go with the same starting lineup, offensive line that they went with last time, which was Lucas Patrick at right guard, and then Josh Myers was back at center. They kept Runyon at left guard. Billy Turner might be back for right tackle, though, so he would go there instead of Dennis Kelly, which is good. And then Bakhtiari was completely fine in that game. Like we said last week, like he had that one play where it was scary because he got rolled up on, but he looked really, really, really good. Conditioning, we'll see how he can play in the fourth quarter, I guess, but I don't think anyone should be scared. I think you can leave him one-on-one with Nick Bosa. I think he is good to go. And that's massive because if we can, not need someone to chip and help out on that side, that means we can have someone in the middle of the line and help Josh Myers when he inevitably misses, or help Billy Turner off the edge instead of using Mercedes there the entire time. So I think the Packers offense is going to be successful. Mm-hmm. And it's good to see the offensive line healthy. It's obviously we wish we had Jenkins, but it's so weird. Both of these teams are so different than week 3. They're so different. I don't know. I don't know how much we can really take from that game. We shall see. Anything else to talk about for this game besides a prediction?
Just feels like maybe Cobb gets involved early. Maybe one of those, throw it out to the flat and let him make a move, see what happens. I don't know, get AJ Dillon running a little bit to start the game. It feels like Packers should start methodically, but come down and score right away and set their own tempo, like I had mentioned before. I guess we usually do keys. I don't know if I'm going a little early here, but I think that's my key to win. Is you have to play at your pace rather than San Francisco's pace, and I think the fans are a key too, because like I said, first full playoff game since Seattle in freezing cold weather. Score early, get the fans behind you. Long day for San Francisco.
Yeah. My key would probably just be that interior defensive line. Kenny Clark, like we said, was really good in that first game, and he's been really good all season, obviously. The biggest surprise on the defensive line has to be Dean Laurie. He's been really good. Like he's been moving bodies on the inside, and if he can keep doing that against San Francisco, having him and Kenny Clark do it, it's done. Like they can't just bounce it outside every play. Trent Williams is a fucking monster on the left tackle, but outside of that, by the way, go back and watch the Trey Lance run with 2 seconds left of the first half, the first 49ers game. Trent Williams almost throws Eric Stokes into the stands. He pulled it off the left side, and not that Stokes can do anything in that situation, but it was not good. But yeah, I think we need to control the interior and hopefully stop the run, force some third and longs. And at that point, if we can make Garoppolo throw, that's a win. Even if he's completing passes, we just can't be bullied up front all day long. Trevor?
My key is when the Packers, and I talked about this last week, I think, when the Packers lose in the playoffs, it's always a death by 1,000 cuts. Last year in the NFC Championship game, they missed multiple opportunities, didn't take the right chances, Kevin King getting burned, everything. That's how it happens. This team very rarely does one thing so horribly. That's why they lose the game, minus San Francisco 2 years ago. Rodgers is going to gash this defense. He's going to gash it. He's going to open up some big cuts. The offense, Jimmy G, he's going to cut his own team. The key is to not make enough small, silly, stupid mistakes, penalties, missed plays, missed coverages that kills you. Because as long as they don't do that the whole game, they'll be fine. Like clean up the small stuff, kind of like how the Spurs played basketball when they were so good. They weren't elite at anything, but they were damn good at everything, never made a mistake. You have to beat them. If the Packers make the 49ers beat them and don't shoot themselves in the foot, they'll win this game.
And just in terms of penalties, we have Ron Tolbert as the head ref for this game. He's called some of the fewest penalties in the league this year. He does call not that many pass interferences either. He has not called a single unsportsmanlike conduct all year long, so I think that means we have free reign to do whatever the fuck we want. Just start smashing helmets against people. I think it'll be fine.
Throwing cheese curds on the field.
That's it. We can throw cheese curds, batteries, spotted cows. Do whatever you got to do. Janet, what's your key for this game?
I'm going to say agree with Luke and start explosive and use the advantage of the fans, the field, the weather. Just because there's something in my eye. Okay. Just because I know that when we pick up speed, we mostly lose it towards second half. So I would like for us to pick it up first quarter, second quarter, and then hopefully not let go of speed third and fourth, because I've noticed that we do slow down third and fourth quarter. We kind of let it go because we're ahead. But if we can just keep that momentum all the way through, I think we'll be fine.
I agree. Packers are favored by 6 points. The over-under is 46.5. I will go Packers. I'll go Packers 27, 49ers 24. Luke, what's yours thought?
What did you say the over-under was? 47?
46.5.
46.5. I I said on the playoff show, on our last show, that I do think the Packers win double digits here. I think come out and score right away, which it seems very plausible considering San Francisco doesn't sport the greatest defensive unit. Come out and score right away. Get fans behind you. I'm really buying into that. If you guys can't tell, but I think double
What about
digit.
you?
I think a double digit win. Give me Packers 31, 49ers 14.
Muted, Trevor.
I'll be optimistic. I think 49ers 31, Packers 23. And I think the 49ers have a long drive at the end of the game, kick a field goal. I think they dominate possession. I think they kind of do that run game that we can't ever seem to stop in the playoffs. I look at this team. This is the perfect formula to beat the Packers, in my opinion. Their defense isn't as good as it has been, but I don't think it matters. I think they throw enough looks at Rodgers and just hold the ball where it's tough to win a game if you don't stop them. And I don't know how the Packers are going to stop these guys from what I've seen in the past how many years.
Trevor brought up field goal there, and I said it in the last show, but for new audience, Robbie Gould hasn't missed in the playoffs for the 49ers in his career. Crosby's like 95%. So you got to think that, both teams will use both their kickers as weapons this game.
Crosby's going to make a tackle. Put that down. He's going to be a weapon out there. He might not even do it on special teams. It might be on defense. Never know.
Special teams touchdown. Don't forget this week.
One of these times.
Third time's a charm, baby. Third time's a charm. I think. Maybe fourth or fifth.
Maybe. Janet, what's your score prediction?
I was kind of, dang, okay. Packers 27, 49ers 14. I was kind of like gearing towards Luke's score, but I don't know. I think it's going to be a little bit closer.
I mean, I hope you guys are. I mean, I kind of don't. I want a good game. I don't want a fucking blowout. I'm so sick of it. As long as it's a good game, just.
I want a blowout. Screw Shanahan. Screw him. He didn't shake his hand. Also, the fans deserve this. I don't want a good game. I want something that's going to numb the pain of the cold and past failures. I want 50-3. And even that I'd be mad about because they give up 3 points. I want a Saints 2005, 52-6 or something.
I don't think I do. I don't really like Packer fans. I think I've kind of come to that realization this year. I don't want people to be like, we're unbeatable, Super Bowl. Nothing can stop us. We told you.
But then when we laugh at them after the NFC Championship game, then it's so much more gratifying and it eases the pain when you get to laugh at them.
No, because then I'm just a hater like I always am, which is fine.
I'll be a hater with you then. 2 haters make a crowd? Maybe?
I don't know. I'm not sure if that's right.
2 negatives make a positive?
Put it on the poll. How many haters make a crowd?
4 or more.
Okay. Luke has spoken.
4+.
Janet, do you have any other dentistry information that we can go over for this episode? Last time it kind of went over pretty well.
Always replace your toothbrush after 3 months.
Okay.
That is pretty good.
That's a good tip.
And after you get sick, always replace your toothbrush because then you're just brushing your teeth with the same. Yeah.
This is a bad thing we're doing. People are just going to be like, I'm not here for this. I'm skipping the last 30 seconds for my daily health care on my teeth,
my daily
weekly.
hygiene.
Yeah.
I also forgot to say this at the top, but I got some unsolicited email a couple days ago that was just saying, hey, Lombardi Sweep ranks really high in the UK for football podcasts.
What?
And gave me the rankings from some guy named Carlos. There's a guy named Carlos in the UK, everybody.
No chance.
But
that seems.
He gave me the.
That seems wrong.
Is he trying to sell you a timeshare, Zach?
Look, I think it's right. Okay?
Yeah, but
remember back when Luke and I were
days.
wearing those soccer jerseys? That's why. We got the audience. They're coming around. They understand. The people in London, they're like, we don't want these crap-ass Jaguars. We want a good team. And they saw Luke with his glasses and Janet with his pugs and Zach with his giant-ass trophy and me with nothing. And they're like, these are the people that I want to be with.
See, Trevor, the only problem with that theory is we were both wearing Inter Milan jerseys, which is Italian
matter.
and not
Doesn't
from the
matter.
United Kingdom.
If we called
So we
soccer
could do a
football, we're
tour. We should do
automatically
a
in.
tour and sign autographs in the UK.
That's right. Well, also they gave me the information for like the where we rank in all the categories and stuff. We rank high in football in the UK. So when I looked at it, different football. So I think that
Yeah.
kind of proves, hey,
Yeah,
our football is
dude,
better, motherfuckers.
I'm telling
We're ranking
you.
higher
What?
than you in your Ted Lasso ass budget football.
You want to know why? They're like, Packers football? They're like, I've never heard of them. I got to tune in. And then by the time they tune in, they're like, oh, this is stupid, but it doesn't matter because we already got them.
And they're like, oh, dentists do extract and orthodontists do rearrange. That's
What?
also a good point.
Screw this. Give us our own like tier 3 English football club, man. We'll coach. We don't know anything about it,
Sure.
but we'll do it.
Sure.
Just
I think it's a good thing.
Real talk, though. Do you think that speaks to how many Packer fans there are in the world?
There are a lot. That's probably a good point. I'm not sure why you picked this one, but I'm thankful. Share it with all your mates. Huh? How about that?
Hey,
That sounded forced. But there are a lot of Packer
I
bars in
wanna
London,
s-
actually.
I want
There
to
are.
see this like list though.
And they love that 70s show over there. And that 70s show loves the Packers. So, tune in. I got a story about that too for a different time. So,
and if anyone's related to anyone who played in the Beatles, the Who, or Led Zeppelin, or anything like that, let us know. We'll have you on the show.
Sir Paul, if you're listening, come on the show. Like live performance. Why not? We need a new intro song.
Mm-hmm.
Write us a
Also-
song, Paul.
also, Dean Lowry, if you're listening, we need you on the show because I need to personally apologize to you. I actually do because I flamed him and I have supported him this whole season. I will say because he has been fantastic. But I need to formally apologize to him because he has been fantastic. To your point,
Maybe if we get our UK fans to like just bug him about our podcast, then maybe he will come on.
Dean, I will donate to your charity and wear a Northwestern hat next one. Just drop the details, man.
I'd never wear a
Got you.
Northwestern hat.
It's Dean
That's
Lowry,
pretty tough.
man. It's Dino. Come on.
Sir Dean. If we did a live show in the UK and have Dean Lowry come out and just surprise people, they probably wouldn't know who he is, but that would still be kind of electric. I think we should do that.
Dean Lowry is the Dan Campbell
super
of
white
defensive line. True story.
Okay,
Don't
we'll go out on
question it,
that
but
point.
think about it.
We'll go out on that point. This was Lombardi Sweep. Like I said, share the show, like the show. Carlos, if you're listening, what's up, my guy? We'll be back next week to talk about the victory. Trevor. Okay, Janet's throwing her fist high for the people listening at home. We'll be back next week. God.